This year, in 2024, I'm leaving wage slavery and I'm never going to work for another company again. This is not clickbait. In this video, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it. If someone asked you, what would you wish for the most? What would the answer be? Seriously, it's an important question. If you haven't thought about it, maybe you should. For me, it's to escape wage slavery. Seriously, that's like my number one. There's nothing more on this earth that I want more than that. I remember the first part-time job I had after school. I was about 14 years old, and already then I was thinking about it on my first day. I felt that something was just wrong. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm back. As you can see, I took a break 2 months ago because of, well, mostly the death of my father. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of this episode, if you are still interested. Anyway, no clickbait. This is the last year I waste life, energy, and time working for a company that doesn't care about me. And I know that this sounds harsh, but I just flat out don't trust companies. This is based on my work-life experience as a consultant, working for many companies. I know exactly how companies operate. Now, maybe you're a kind of person who enjoys working at your workplace, but I think that most of you share my belief that companies are essentially soulless entities that only care about making profit. And that's why I am getting out. Once and for all, I'm done. If you're anything like me, you probably are also tired of working every day, wasting your life making some company richer, while you're getting older and weaker with time. And why? Well, because the system is rigged in a way that most people are forced to live paycheck to paycheck. And most people even live beyond their means, paying for car loans, mortgages, school loans, and credit cards. Money, which is supposed to enrich your life, is the very thing that's keeping you trapped in wage slave society. And it's just scary to me, just talking to regular people, that most people just don't seem to see it, like at all. Most people just accept it, that, that's just the way life is. Well, this wage slave, for one, has had enough. I'm tired of getting up every morning, taking that bus to work, and wasting endless hours on pointless work. I have worked since I was 14 years old. I worked hard on getting good grades. I went to college, and my so-called bright career started. And so I've spent about 20 years or so working because I believed this lie. And I've never had a single day at work where I felt, this day was good. The only good days were weekends, vacations, and even sick days. The truth is, I've hated every single day of my so-called career. Well, that's all about to change. In my last video, Work Broke My Spirit, I really opened up to you guys and I gave you a very honest view of my work-life experience. I share how I feel about work essentially crushing my soul. And that video got a lot of views. I think it was because you could sort of sense that I was being authentic. I didn't pretend to be someone successful as a lot of YouTubers do. These last few years, I've been thinking that maybe it's too late for me. I feel like my fate is sealed and doomed. I start to think that escape just simply isn't possible for someone like me. Now, some of you were again thinking that I was depressed. And yes, while it is true that wage slavery does make me sad, there isn't actually a shred of depression within me, so you don't have to worry. And the reason I know this is because I used to be clinically depressed a couple of years ago, and I know the difference. Okay. So you might be wondering, how the hell am I going to escape wage slavery? And this year already. Will I be doing some kind of upgraded version of quiet quitting? Am I planning to rob a bank? Will I be using The Secret to win the lottery? Or maybe I've put all my faith in the next crypto bull run? No. The truth is, I have simply decided to jump into the unknown. I'm starting my own business and I want to be a full-time YouTuber. Now, it sounds kind of corny to say out loud, I'm going to be a YouTuber. It doesn't sound like a real job. And not only is it real, it's actually my dream, because I love making these videos and I would love to be able to spend the rest of my life doing this and only this. The difference between working the 9-to-5 rat race and having your own business is a monumental one. When work doesn't feel like work, when it feels like a passion, it's just a very different reality. So I'm kind of worried and excited at the same time. Maybe I'm kidding myself. You see, I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. It just always seemed like a lot of hassle. But I want to find out. And you only have one life after all, and if I don't do this now, I might never get another chance. Speaking of taking chances in life, while they might seem risky at first, I gotta tell you, I once took a huge leap of faith, and it changed my life for the better. When I met my wife, we actually met online. I lived in Stockholm and she lived in the south of Sweden, and we met up about 4 times before deciding that I move in with her. Now, friends and family, they warned me that I might be making some big mistake, that we were moving too fast. And I'll be honest, I was a bit worried myself, but I didn't care. I loved her and I had a gut feeling about it. So I left my entire life in Stockholm to be with her. And you know what? We've been happily married for more than 10 years. So I think it's important to take chances in life. So what if you make a mistake? Very few mistakes in life can't be corrected. Now, you might be worried that I'm being a bit cocky because I just had 2 viral videos in a row. But don't worry. With 10 years of experience of YouTube, I know that viral videos are not easy to repeat. Just because the YouTube algorithm is in your favor one month doesn't mean it will be the next month. So for example, I doubt this video will get a lot of views. My experience with YouTube is that it will punish you if you take a long break. But that's okay. I have a plan. So what is different this year? Well, I have always wanted to be a full-time YouTuber. The thing that's been holding me back is I need to have some kind of security. I need some money to keep me financially independent for at least the first year. A kind of a runway, if you will. But when you work paycheck to paycheck, it's kind of hard to build that kind of wealth. Now, I do have some money saved up, and I'm also inheriting some money after the passing of my father. You see, I know what it takes to start a YouTube career. I just need the time to do it. And when I'm working a 9-to-5, it's just not possible, at least not for me. Now, I'd never suggest anyone to do what I'm planning to do unless you really know what you're doing. My experience with YouTube makes me confident that I will be successful at some point, making enough on YouTube to actually make a living. But without a safety net, I really wouldn't recommend it. Now, I will have enough money to give me some time to grow my channel, and it's actually not my only channel. I have several channels, and I actually plan to make more channels in the future. I'm sort of a serial YouTuber. That's how much I love making videos about different topics. Time is really all I need to make it work. And it's not just YouTube. I can work on my other passive income streams. I'll keep making stock videos that people buy. I can make reviews on Amazon and other things explained in my video, 8 passive income streams. Link to that video is in my video description below. But regarding this channel, I have certainly tapped into something very interesting, talking about, wage slavery from my perspective and experience. I have noticed that people really resonate with my thoughts about the 9-to-5 rat race, and I want to go deeper into this topic. But this channel really isn't about wage slavery. It's about life. If you've seen my first video on this channel... Okay. Hi. I'm so excited right now. I'm about to make my first video for this channel. You know that this channel is an exploration of a question that a lot of people have asked throughout human history, but very few have been able to answer it. What's the meaning of life? Why are we here? How does one achieve happiness and feel content with life? That's what I want to explore and discover. I mean, if you can't figure out what makes you happy, then really nothing else matters, not even escaping wage slavery. Most people aren't interested in the big questions, but I've always been extremely interested in philosophical questions like that. You see, I could make videos about wage slavery and how to escape it for the rest of my life, but at the end of the day, escaping wage slavery is not the essence of life. It's not what life is about, at least it shouldn't be. I want to know what the purpose of life is, regardless if you escape wage slavery or not. I think it's more important. Now, all the science points to the fact that when a person wins the lottery or loses a leg, after 6 months, the personal experience goes back to the way it was before the life-changing event. And so I find more value trying to create videos on life and not just wage slavery. I could someday make a video that would inspire you to escape wage slavery, but it will not make you happy, at least not in the long run. But I gotta tell you, the idea that I will not have to get up at 5 every morning to go to some workplace that I hate is just beyond words. To never have to sip coffee and listen to boring coworkers, to actually have the time and energy to listen to friends and family. Come to think of it, I don't really like coffee. It was really something that I picked up to be able to have enough energy to waste my life on boring work stuff. When you feel passionate about something, you don't need coffee to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to living with the freedom to do whatever I want every single day. A lot of wise people have told me that becoming a full-time YouTuber will take a lot of hard work. But I just don't believe that. Because to be honest, I really love doing this. I could easily spend hours and hours filming and editing videos every day. And, I just love every minute of it. Being at some office, I hate every minute of it. So it's going to be an absolutely game-changing thing for me. Now, my wife, she kind of worries that if I do this, I will somehow become unsocial, that I will somehow change from not being around coworkers. While her concerns are heartwarming, it's just not how I work as a human being. I'm not exactly what you would call a social person. I have a very limited amount of energy that I spend on interacting with people. I've always been that way. And whatever limited social energy I have, I want to use that on people I love. Speaking of, social media and YouTube is actually a big part of my social life. Reading comments and answering them is so much more rewarding to me. I think it's because of two things. One thing, the comments that you write are more interesting than the coffee house crap coworkers talk about. And two, you can really take your time reading, thinking, and answering. In real life, I think that conversations are like 90% bullshit. And so I'm really excited beyond words about this. Just to never have to go to meetings or doing things that just crush the soul. Basically, to not waste time, to not waste my life on any of this is incredible to me. So I'm rather optimistic starting this year. I can feel that my escape from wage slavery is actually possible. I have a chance of creating a life of happiness for myself. And maybe I'm being naive for the reasons I mentioned a few minutes ago. Maybe the grass will always be just as green on the other side. But you know what? Life is about the journey, not the destination. I want to find out what's on the other side of the rainbow. I don't want to lay in my deathbed regretting how I never took a chance on this. Anyway, I hope you found this video enjoyable or useful. And as always, thank you for listening. Do me a favor and tap that like button to show your support. Subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. Until next time, stay hungry, relentless, and strong in your journey of escaping wage slavery. Oh, you're still here. Oh, that's right. It's the behind the scenes vlog. For new viewers, this is where I share some personal things with my subscribers. It's not for everyone, so I keep these segments at the end of the video. So, recently I lost my father to cancer, and I wrote a long post in the community tab about it, and I got so much love and heartwarming comments. I'm eternally grateful for that. It really helped. It really did. And I had to go to Poland for my dad's funeral, and it was difficult for a number of reasons. For one thing, I absolutely hate flying. Even if I have a gin and tonic, a double one, before the flight, I still hate every minute of the experience. I like the landing part though. The closer the plane gets to the ground, the better I feel. Anyway, the funeral was nice. I met with some cousins that I haven't seen in a long time, and I spent a week in my father's house. Every evening I was sitting in his room, looking at all his stuff. And I don't know, it's weird. When you lose your father, it's kind of different than losing a friend or a grandparent. Your parents are sort of the foundation of your life, so they feel like a part of you. And so right now, still, it feels like a part of me is suddenly just missing. Now, being in Poland is always a very weird experience for me. Since I lived most of my life here in Sweden, I don't really feel Polish. And yet I know the language and the culture that I learned from my family. And so when I'm there, it sort of feels like I belong there, but at the same time, I miss Sweden. It's very weird. Now, the saddest part of this funeral, it wasn't, however, the loss of my father, as one might expect. It's the fact that when people die, you really find out what relatives are made of. From the moment I got the news about the loss of my father, I already started to get phone calls from family members who wanted to make sure that they would get their cut from the will. Yes, I'm embarrassed to say that the vultures in my family appeared as soon as my father passed away. And what's even sadder, whenever my father wanted to talk to me about his will, I often said I didn't want to be a part of his will because I was afraid of this type of shit certain family members would go through to get money, you know? And in defense of my family, not everyone is like this, but there is this one particular person that made a claim and threatened to take us to court if his demands were not met. And surely enough, he got a lawyer, and we had to get our own lawyer. And it's just such a waste of money and energy when all we really want to do is just grieve, you know? Anyway, my father did leave a will where he wanted me to have some money. And his wife actually told me that the reason he did that was he wanted me to use the money to escape wage slavery. You see, he knew how much I suffered from it. He wanted me to have money to do what I love to do the most, which is to make these videos. I suppose you could say that he wanted me to see me go after my dreams. And maybe I've mentioned this, but my father, he actually watched my videos. He didn't understand English very well, so he used Polish subtitles, and we often had discussions after he saw one of my videos. And like I said, this is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I will most likely never get another shot like this again, and so I'm taking this shot. I'm doing it. Now, you might be curious how much my dad left me. And it's not a fortune, but with my calculations, it would give me financial peace for at least 3 years. Anyway, that's all I had for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching it, and hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.